Hey, 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 what is up? What's happening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Super excited to be on here. Yes, yes. When you come on, just drop me a comment. Let me know where you're coming in from. And let's see. Let's see. Should I bribe you with something? I don't know. You know what? I'll give away a couple journals, give away a couple 90-day journals. So drop me a comment, share this, drop me a comment that you shared, and I'll pick a few people to get a 90-day journal just to get a bunch of people on here, hearing from our amazing special guest who I'm super excited to hear from. What's up, Donna? Yeah, yeah. All right. Jody, Chris, what's happening? Awesome, awesome. Lee, Raha, Jennifer. What's up, Portia? Michigan in the house. Very nice. So yeah, in case if you just came on, you may not have heard, but I'm going to give away a couple of our 90-day journals. What a great way to start the new year. And so if you would like to possibly win, click that share button, drop me a comment that you shared, and I'll pick a few people, and then we'll get this party started real quick like. All right, hold on. Let me pull up my little thing. There we go. All right. What's up, Lisa? Hey. Tennessee in the house. All right. So Donna Werner Brown gets a 90-day journal. Jamal Rogers gets a 90-day journal. And who else we got? And Nikki Jackson. Nikki Jackson gets a 90-day journal. So if I said your name, shoot an email to support@higdongroup.com and we'll ship out your 90-day journal. Probably won't be there by Christmas, FYI, but it'll be there as quick as we can possibly get it to you. So I don't want to dilly-dally. I want to jump right in because this guy is busy. He's a rock star. And so let me just share who you're about to hear from. This guy played arena football professionally, is a #1 best-selling author, has built a successful speaking and training business, a real estate investment company, and also opened the only 24/7 functional fitness facility in Las Vegas, which he's in the process of franchising. This guy's a big deal, man. Never the smartest, the biggest, the most talented, or the most gifted, and in spite of all his childhood issues like failing 5th grade, watching his parents get divorced, and almost taking his own life, you're going to be inspired by his relentless resilience to succeed and achieve his goals and help you hit yours. This guy started his speaking career in the youth market, spending 5 years traveling the globe, speaking with hundreds of thousands of millennial and Gen Z audiences. And now he travels the globe, helping people become peak performers so that they can also make a bigger impact. So please help me welcome Richie Contartesi.
You
Richie,
got it, man. How are you?
very good, very good. Awesome, man. So yeah, there's so many accolades you got, man. I tried to hit as many as I could, but you've done a lot of amazing things. So please, if you would, share your story. I'm sure there's some people on here who maybe haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Ray, appreciate you having me, and I look forward to sharing my story and ultimately sharing with everybody here what you can do to unlock your potential and consistently get to the next level every single week, and eliminate failure from your life. And
Yeah.
so, to make a long story short, my dream was to play big time college football. My Division 1, and this helmet behind me right here was a long shot. I stopped growing at 5'7", 150 pounds. However, through this intense accountability I had since I was a little kid, I ended up getting a 1 hour tryout at a school called Jacksonville University. It's a small school you've never heard of. Ended up going there for 1 year, got cut, and built a relationship from a childhood friend who ended up getting an internship for the coach to be a coach at Ole Miss. And he was able to get me one tryout at Ole Miss. So just got cut from a school you never heard of, then get a tryout at Ole Miss, went there 3.5 years later, got kicked around, got what kicked, but ultimately ended up earning a scholarship. And from there, got into the business world, started a couple of businesses that failed, over and over again. But someone said, "Hey, Richie, just share your story." And so I learned how to share my story. And then one high school led to two, two to four, four to eight, and then 400, over 400 5 years later. And now I work with companies as well as individuals. So that's kind of the long story short.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you think is the key to being resilient? Is that something that's teachable, or is that something like you either have or you don't?
So it's such a good question. And, I spent so the reason that I went so I spoke for 5 years in the youth market. And after about 5 years, 450 schools, I just felt like I would get into my car after events and I would be depressed. And it was this feeling like I wasn't truly actually helping people. I was talking about being relentless. I was talking about being resilient. However, there were reactions. It was like, hey, just like build more relationships and overcome fear and take action and believe in yourself. And all of this is a bunch of nonsense, right? It's a bunch of stuff you can't actually implement. And so I would get down, I would get down, I would get down. And so I actually stepped away from speaking and got into fitness, which is something that I really loved. And that's when I know you shared the story with the gym. And so I went all in on fitness and opened up a facility in Las Vegas and quickly realized it was the same thing. I was like, we're just helping people on a surface level. We're not actually helping. And so one day I walked into the facility and I said, we're no longer offering gym memberships anymore. Like only 5% of people are getting results. This is a waste of time and a waste of money. And I said, what we're going to do is we're going to start working with people individually. And we're going to start using the things that actually made me resilient in the past, which was external forces, which was what now I call the next play accountability. And that was the only reason at 5'7", 150 pounds, I was able to play at Ole Miss with Michael Orr from the blind side and play professionally for a period of time. And so we started working with people individually on a very one-on-one basis with accountability. And the same way it was always done with me, which I'll explain to you here in a second. And then I used this accountability with my team with our clients. And all of a sudden it was before and after picture after before and after picture after before and after picture. And I was like, this is the name of the game. It was wins. They started getting wins. And it was every single week, we were holding them accountable to their potential on their next week's action plan, holding them accountable to their potential on their next week's action plan. And so when we did that, we kept people focused on the ball in front of them, as opposed to all the times they failed in the past or
Right.
worrying about what may happen in the future. And so that's before I got back into speaking, that kind of developed. And then the story from there and how I started working with the companies, I'm sure we'll get into that. But that's to me how you build resiliency is through the next play. And it's a form of accountability.
That's cool. One of the comments, and I wanted to hop on, Jason said, interesting that 5% got results at the gym. And so real quick story around that. So, one of our more successful courses we ever launched was called the 3-Minute Expert, and it was a blogging course. And we launched this course and we're getting all kinds of testimonials, just crazy. And it did close to $1 million in 10 days. And all these people are messaging us, oh my God, this is amazing. This is it. And some people are getting results and all kinds of stuff. And I accidentally clicked, and I went into our back office, and I didn't even mean to go there. And it showed me who had opened the course. And it was like 5%.
That's the best.
And so like, it was like, if I didn't have those testimonials, I would have clicked that and been like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? So it's such a contrast because, you get these amazing testimonials, but 90% more could be getting results, but they're just not doing the damn work. So you did something about it. You said, I'm going to structure something in a particular way.
Yeah, I was just over it, man. I was like literally, just like you felt, like I got in my car And I got to a point where I was like depressed. And I got to a point where I'm like, I don't want to get paid to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like I really just felt that, because I knew, dude, I mean, you go to events and you're like, oh, this motivational and I'm motivated and I'm inspired. And then they get in their car and they hit every red light on the way home.
Right.
And then their spouse is upset. And then their kids are this and their boss is yelling. And then all of it is gone in like 10 minutes or an hour. And so to me, it's pointless. So goals to me can work. Okay. Goals with accountability, even better. Goals with the next play is lights out. And that's where you see a study by the Association of Training and Development, where if you have a weekly accountability, which is what they call it, we call it something different, then on your schedule and you're meeting with someone to discuss what you did in the past and what you're going to do in the future, you have a 95% greater chance of actually achieving what you want. And so that's the model that we use. That's how you teach resiliency. That's how we teach relentless just like you have Relentless University, and I see the same thing and I'm like, this is pointless. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So talk about, like, I know you have like a challenge that you do, like, tell us how does that work? And I'm finding out, for myself, like I want to learn, because one of our, close business partners suggested you and I we chatted, loved it. And so, tell us like the different challenges you do and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two ways that we work with people. We work with businesses, right? And when we work with businesses, we implement an accountability system throughout their organization. However, we work on an individual basis. So we still actually have a facility out here in Las Vegas. However, we're not going to be keeping it much longer because we've moved online. And there's 3 areas when it comes to the challenge I'm going to share with you right now that we work with people on: fitness, nutrition, and accountability. And the purpose of this is to create maximum performance and hold you to standards that you've never been held to in the past. So this is our next play accountability challenge, and it's for fitness specifically. The reason we start with fitness is because if you've never been in a position where you've been held accountable, it's the easiest way to get started. It's absolutely the easiest way. Even if you're working out, but you're not totally getting the results that you want, there's one thing that our coaches will never do, and we will never coach somebody to average ever. One time, one of my coaches called me and he's like, "Oh yeah, this person, he just wants to lose like 10 pounds and like see what happens." I'm like, no, bro. Like, why would you want to coach somebody to that? We coach people to maximum potential and results that they've never had in their life. So one is fitness, which is your workout program.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is nutrition. So this is going to be, what exactly are you eating? And it doesn't have to be that complicated. Is it a meal plan for some people? Some people it's macros. So it just depends. And then the 3rd is accountability. And that's every single week we're going to meet consistently with each individual, figure out where they were, where they want to go, and then just hold them accountable to what's possible for them on their next play that week. And it's this cycle where they're just, what's in front of me right now? What am I going to get better at this week? And so we don't really care what you did last week. Are we going to learn from it? Yes. But the most important play is always the next one. So those are the 3 areas. It's 21 days. And so it is a intense, here's where you're at, here's where we're going to go, right? In this 21-day period. It takes 21 days to build a habit. So we're going to focus on 1 to 3 habits that you can make a massive shift. And what we always find, like, people, they get started and they're like, I want to, the same things, right? Like, I want to lose 5 pounds or I want to lose 10 pounds. And then we start diving in and we start finding all these areas of their life where they're not even close to their potential.
Sure.
And we can find 2 or 3 things that they're consistently doing that we can change in that period of time. And then, of course, add in the fitness and nutrition with the weekly accountability. And people have just insane shifts in such a short period of time. 6 weeks is too long, too much to to headache when you first start. And anything less than 21 days is so short. So we found that 21 days is the sweet spot.
Nice. That's cool. And what have you seen? How have you seen people transform over 21 days?
Yeah, so man, we've seen anything from people losing 20 pounds, 12 pounds, 8% body fat, but ultimately it's up here. It's what
Right.
happens in their ability to unlock and do things that they would have never done 21 days prior.
Hmm.
And, whether it's in their like, so in a 21-day period of time, we had somebody who increased their salary by $20,000
Hmm.
because they had the confidence to go out, and one of them was to do an event. The other one was to ask for a raise. Like, we've seen that multiple times. But ultimately it's the confidence, the power, the ability to say like, I can, and everything that's ever happened to me in the past doesn't make me a failure. And I don't have to fear what may happen to me in the future because I always know that I have the next play in front of me. And so that's like completely that mindset alone has taken companies from they're stuck at $50 million a year for 8 years to getting over 100 in uh, 18-month period,
Hmm.
right? So it's the same mindset for that you can use in fitness in your life, and that's why we like starting with fitness if we're working with an individual.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk a lot about, just being, defiant to that smaller voice, defiant to that inner voice. And, what's behind defiance is like, when you defy that little voice or that habit or that emotional addiction, you're like, wow, what else can I do? And I'm sure that you see that too, of something you didn't coach someone in, all of a sudden they went and got a better result, or some unexpected thing in some other area of their life, I bet.
Absolutely. And it like, well, so yeah, I mean, so in the individual space, if we're working with fitness, we see transformations, not in just fitness, but in their wealth and in their relationships. And, you know, one guy's like was working he had been working so long on being able to, like, he had this goal of hiking this mountain for so long, and physically he was fine up here. He just didn't think it was possible. There's no way in 21 days you're going to go from unphysically being able to do that to being able to do that.
Right.
Um, but he realized that he could, and then he did. And so
Nice.
little things like that as well,
Nice.
outside of income, but also just possibilities and dating. So we had one time there's this guy, and he could, no matter what, he could not talk to women. He was just like, it's not going to happen.
Right.
And I said, so what are you thinking about? And he's like, well, every time before I go and talk to a girl, I'm always thinking about all the times I got rejected in the past, or all the times it didn't work out. Or I'm thinking about, oh my God, like, what will my friends think if she says, like, I'm at a bar and she says something and it's embarrassing. And so I was like, look, next time this happens, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. So this is what we teach. This is essentially the next play. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? When are you going to do it by? So simple. What, how, when? What, how, when? Okay.
Got
So
it.
what are you going to do? Talk to the girl. How are you going to do it? Walk over there. When? Right now. Go. So what? Walk over there. I talk to the girl. How? Walk over there. When? Right now. Go. And so all of a sudden, every time he was in a spot where he was like nervous and didn't want to go talk to her, it was just what, how, when, go. And all of a sudden, he was taking action, walking over and talking,
Yeah.
and he would get rejected. But he wasn't thinking about all the BS times he failed in the
Right.
past, or fearing what could happen in the future. He just was like, I'm just going to go. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to go. And he started talking to girls, and now he's got a girlfriend. So it's like,
There you go.
it's the
Nice.
little things like that we used here, that got him places outside.
Yeah. And that could help with prospecting. That could help with,
Oh my God.
all kinds of things. Really cool. Okay. So how
If you
do
want, I could
people?
touch on the prospecting thing, because
Yeah,
it's
let's do
like
it. 'Cause
so
a
important.
lot of my audience, they're network marketers, or
Of
they have
course.
they're in a sales business, or own their own business. So yeah, definitely
Yeah,
pros-
yeah, exactly. That's why I figured, hey, let me jump into that. So, when we work with organizations specifically, we usually work with the leadership teams who work with salespeople, right? And as network marketers, business owners, really, I mean, we're all salespeople, right? Like, let's
sure.
just be real. So, the first thing that we teach is the next play. And so, for example, every time you're before you pick up the phone, you're in the same place as the guy I was just explaining, right? You're like, oh my God, I've got rejected. Or every time I'm going to start a live, oh, what are people going to think about me? Like, I made no sales the last time, or I didn't nearly get as many sales as I wanted to the time before. Or you're kind of like in all of these places where it's like, dude, like the only thing that matters right now is the live in front of you right now, is the call in front of you right now. Nothing else matters. And so that's basically what we teach. Is like, you're about to pick up the phone on a cold call. What, how, when? Just pick up the phone. How are you going to do it? Say whatever, and when, go. And like over time, you're going to get better in practice. The biggest thing is that you're moving and taking action and doing it. Right. And when you don't, what all you're doing is creating bad habits. Like procrastination is a bad habit, right?
Sure.
Like all of these things. And so this takes you out of those and into action, right? Out of that into action. And so that's why, so for example, like I was talking to one of my team members, and it's become a verb now. So I got like next played. So like we were actually on a team meeting, and I started talking about this thing I was frustrated with, and my team member stopped and he's like, whoa, 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 like next play, Richie. Like, and that's the idea, is like, it doesn't matter. The only thing like, could you imagine if Tom Brady came out onto the field after he threw an interception, and all he was talking about in the huddle was the last play when he threw the interception?
Right.
Like, nobody cares.
Right.
It's 1st and 10. Get the first down.
What are we going to do about it?
That's kind of the idea.
Nice. Okay. So my team put together a little link for those that want to know more about your 21-day challenge. And you can learn more at higdongroup.com/21. Now, what are they going to see on that page? Like, what's on there?
Yeah, so let me walk you through it. So basically, the first thing is there is an application. We have a really, really cool special going on right now for you in the Higdon group. This challenge is very intensive. You're going to go through 5 coaching calls, as well as all of your nutrition is going to be planned out for you. All of your workouts are going to be planned out for you. As well as, the accountability through the process. We have a money back guarantee. It's normally $297. Right now it's $97. This is our pre-holiday through January kind of special.
Nice.
So what you get for $97 is insane. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, the idea is you're going to make such a massive shift in that 21 days that you're going to be like, cool. So once you get on the page, there's an application. The second thing is you're going to book an interview, right? Because of the fact we have a guarantee, and because of the fact it's a very intense, very defined, goal-oriented process. We just want to make sure it's a good fit for you, as well as for us. So we'll hop on a quick 20-minute call. If it's a good fit, one of my team members will enroll you right in. I'll be meeting with you every single week as a group. And then you'll also be meeting one-on-one with your coach. So there's quite a bit of accountability, but again, it's all focused on what's in front of you in the next play. So that's the process.
Nice. I mean, I think it's a very reasonable, investment for, what you're delivering and in your track record. So I think that's pretty cool. higdongroup.com/21 if you want to learn more about that. And yeah, so have you set, I assume you probably have you set like your goals for next year? Like what's one that you're most excited about?
Yeah. So, what's funny is I actually spent the whole day this morning setting up what I'm going to do. And this is what, like, the same thing I teach is the same thing that I do. Do I have a what I want to accomplish for the year? 100%. But I've broken it down by week, and everything that I do is week to week.
That's awesome.
If you look at the best coaches of all time, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, not just football, but in all sports, like the best coaches of all time keep you focused on week to week action.
Yeah.
There was a video I saw that came out, and they were asking Bill Belichick, greatest football coach of all time, like hands down, not even close. And the question was, so are you?
I'm a Colts fan, so I was just up in Indy, and Bill didn't do too good.
No. I mean, yeah, no, they didn't. But what he took one bounce back year, and he's already back in the game.
Yeah.
It's wild.
No doubt. He's amazing. It's
but insane. Yeah.
When given the opportunity, I like to hand it to him.
The Peyton Manning, Tom Brady duo for so long. I can see where there's animosity there for sure. But they asked him this question, and they were like, so they said, so are you, your goal is to win the Super Bowl this year. And it was in the spring, so right before spring training camp, and Bill Belichick's like, the Super Bowl, my only thing that I'm focused on right now, my goal right now is to make sure all my players make it to training camp. So do I want to win the Super Bowl? Yeah, but that's not what I'm focused on right now.
Sure.
So the same thing, I have somebody who I meet with every single week. It's got to be every single week consistently. And we're going to go over, here's what you had this week. What went well, what didn't? Did you hit it? Did you not? And you should be doing this with your downline, like especially the people under you. If you're not meeting one-to-one with your producers, like how are you going to expect them to grow? And it has to be every week. It has to be on your calendar every single. That's like, if I can't tell you how many, I'll go to a company and they're like, yeah, we do one-on-ones. It's very sporadic. There's no consistency. Like it has to be consistent every single week. So when I meet with the person that's holding me accountable to my next play, and when I have my next play sessions is what we call them, we're going to go over, what did I do last week? What went well, what didn't? Okay. What's my next play this week? It's the same thing. Like how many calls, how many reach outs, how many lives, like what are your KPIs? And then if you hit what you wanted to hit, great. And if you didn't hit it, that's no problem. You know why? What's the most important play? The next play, and you're going to get it the next week. And that's it. Do you see what I'm saying?
But
if I'm in network marketing, the number one thing is I want to get my 15, in your day, you're planning your day. You teach, you probably got to do lives and all this stuff, but I would have a portion of my schedule where I'm meeting one-on-one with my producers and I'm 30-minute sessions and they know it's on their calendar. I know it's on their calendar and they know, hey, every week I'm going to report. And it's about growth. So when we teach managers at companies, grow your people, grow your team, then grow your income. You're not going to grow your income without growing your people and your team. So, so that's how we go about that.
Well, very cool, Richie. Well, if you want to learn more about the 21-day challenge, I think it sounds fantastic. HigdonGroup.com/21. Learn that next play technology. I really like it. But Richie, man, I know you're busy. I appreciate you coming out here. And I know there's some people excited, what a perfect time to start a quick challenge like this. And so I really appreciate you. And I hope you have a great Christmas, great holidays. It's been great, man. Really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to having you on the show as well. And for everybody here, just one last final thing. With what Ray's saying is, look, like a lot of people will wait until the new year and then this happens and you're busy. And like, look, if this is something that's a priority for you and you really want to, and you believe in the next play and how it could drastically change your life, the workout programs, the nutrition, all that stuff is great. But it's about the understanding that how the next play can drastically keep you focused on what's in front of you. Ultimately what it does, and this is what we have everywhere because this is what everyone says, is it completely eliminates failure from your life. There is no longer failure. There's only the next play. There is no longer fear. There's only the next play. And when you live your life like that, every single person watching this, you can have, be, and do whatever you want. You really can, because there's nothing stopping you, because you always have the next play. So I'd love to meet you. I'd love to have you a part of what we're doing. Ray, I really appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to having you on mine as well.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate you so very much, man. Have a great holiday, great Christmas. And again, HigdonGroup.com/21 if you want to check it out. To me, it sounds like an amazing deal. It sounds like a great plan. And so really appreciate you tuning in. Drop a comment of some gratitude. And, feel free to hate on the Patriots if you would like. We always accept that. But
I'm a Jets fan, so I hate the Patriots. But
you're a what fan?
I'm a Jets fan, but I hate the Patriots. But like, you can't. I mean, it's just greatness. So
you're right. Yeah. I can respect that. Well, cool, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother. Have a great day, man.
You too.
Thank you, everybody.